Once upon a time, in a small village in China, there lived an old man named Simon. Simon was known for his wisdom and calm demeanor, and the villagers often came to him for advice. He lived a simple life with his son, tending to his farm and caring for their prized possession, a beautiful, majestic horse. One day, the horse ran away. It jumped over the fence and disappeared into the hills. The villagers heard about the incident and rushed to Simon's house to offer their condolences. "Oh, what terrible luck! Losing such a valuable horse must be devastating." But Simon simply shrugged and said, "Who knows if this is good or bad?" The villagers were puzzled by his reaction. How could losing a horse possibly be good? They shook their heads and returned to their homes, muttering about the old man's crazy outlook. A few days later, to everyone's surprise, the horse returned, and it wasn't alone. It had brought back a group of wild horses from the hills. Now Simon had not one but several horses. The villagers were amazed and quickly gathered to congratulate him. "Simon, you are so lucky. Now you have more horses than ever before," they said. Simon smiled and replied, "Who knows if this is good or bad?" The villagers were even more baffled. How could gaining more horses be anything but good? They left, scratching their heads in confusion. A few days later, Simon's son, excited by the new horses, decided to tame one of the wild ones. However, while attempting to ride the wild horse, he was thrown off and broke his leg. The villagers, hearing about the accident, came to offer their sympathy. "What terrible luck! Your son has broken his leg," they said. Simon, as always, remained calm. "Who knows if this is good or bad?" he replied. The villagers were astonished. How could such a misfortune possibly have a silver lining? They left, murmuring about Simon's strange wisdom. A few weeks later, the emperor's army arrived in the village, conscripting all the young men to fight in a distant war. The conflict was dangerous, and many young men were unlikely to return. Because of his broken leg, Simon's son was not taken by the army. The villagers, now truly amazed, came to Simon and said, "You were right. Your son's injury turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Now he won't have to go to war." Simon nodded and smiled gently. "Who knows if this is good or bad?" he said again. The core moral of the story is that we cannot immediately judge the true nature of events in our lives. What seems like a misfortune may turn out to be a blessing, and what appears to be a stroke of luck might lead to unforeseen problems. This perspective teaches us not to rush to conclusions about the events we encounter. By not becoming overly elated with good fortune or overly despondent with misfortune, we are able to stay calm and balanced in the face of life's ups and downs. In today's fast-paced and often stressful world, this story encourages us to keep perspective. To understand that immediate outcomes are not always indicative of future consequences. Be resilient by developing emotional resilience to cope with life's ups and downs. And lastly, to accept change. Embrace the inevitability of change and adapt to new situations with a positive mindset. Until next time, remember, who knows if it's good or bad? Stay positive and keep moving forward. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.